Peace out! This is your boy Edizon joining you with another video. I ruined my shot. Have you ever wondered why there is no certain crispiness, warmth, depth in your mixes? Like why it's lacking? In this video, we're gonna look into crisp sounding warm analog plugins they bring from the retro field, add harmonics, and we're gonna study their use. What kind of sounds you can achieve with different analog plugins, let's say vocal, let's say guitar, the full mix mastering situation.
What are you doing here? Oh!
Peace out! Here we are on the studio program. I wanted you to have this presentation. I'm using this multi-analyzer. Actually, I can monitor it now. You see what's happening here. And on the current track, we will have Span analyzer. So I can click here. So you will see presentation of mid and side channels. I can just look the side channel. This is soloing it. Then both here. I think this is important because when I start introducing this saturation, you will start seeing it actually adds content to this side channel. That is something you might overlook in mastering. So that's why I think it's important to show that this saturation introduces. Sometimes it's better if you EQ a track, then you saturate it. You bring some of this maybe muddy content to it. Now it's important to again EQ it a little bit, tame it down a little bit, control it a little bit. So this is why I think it is just important. It seems that this mix might be a little bit too low heavy with the sides channel. It depends on the genre, how you want it to be, and the track. But anyways, you don't hear now anything. We're gonna go very quickly through this. Let's go and demo all of these plugins that I have here listed. It's not all of my analog plugins, but I have wanted you to have some kind of demo of a list of these. Now you will see here, when I start pushing this in, the orange colored graph is gonna come in, and there is difference between them. Let's analyze that difference. FabFilter Saturn, it's the first plugin we're gonna demo. I'm gonna actually bring the volume all the way up. Like this. You see? Put it off. Yeah, there shouldn't be any differences. But let's introduce this. Now you see differences. With these analog plugins, I just want to mention that most of these plugins are meant to hit the VU meter 0. That is the optimal how they're designed. Like I personally like this very subtle, but sadly it's just 32-bit. To have some like little bit more headroom. Actually, I'm having. Yeah, I have this limiter here limiting it. But to have a little bit more headroom to work with, you might control it a little bit here, a few dB. That might help you a little bit. So let's do that here at this point. What I wanted to say, this is like 80s heavy guitar sound type EQ. High treble, high bass, very high bass actually. And then controlling the middle frequencies. This is like the... Kind of like, I think the Pantera sound would be good characterization for that. Same maybe Metallica later sound. Maybe Metallica and Symphony Orchestra, S&M. You know. That's that kind of tube valve type. Neutron. Yeah, you see how much it's gonna take. Yeah. That is beautiful. I just bought this Powershaper. As I say, that's like actually like this tape plugin is one of the warmest thing I've ever found. I love this B, the character. I don't know what it stands for. And this is very lovely what it says here. Warning: high amount can lead to desired distortion. It's so lovely. It's so warm sounding. I think perfect example. Also this, I don't know. It was just one time I had this piano and I put this on the track and just started tweaking, and then I found something I loved so much I had to buy it because I didn't want to have time to find some other plugins and try to find something similar. Using this gentle presence as a starting point. That present. Very lovely, very lovely. I think it can be used in mastering also. But that was the first set of plugins. Let's go to the second. I do this routing like that. Moving to the second list. There is Ozone 9 Exciter. Having the analog here. That is, by the way, very nice because this has this like multiband feature. You can start adding multiple layers of saturation to different bands. But we're not gonna go over to that today. Just wanted to show this has nice, again, tape, tube, warm, different variations. I know I'm peaking, I'm over-exaggerating it, but I just want you to understand this thing. I love the analog. Let us control. You know. And you see, it adds content to those high ends, what doesn't even exist there originally. So always think about this stuff. Vintage tape. Yeah, I have this here also. Let's see. Just there like that, yeah. Kashmir. This is not necessarily very analog, but it has this tape. This is free, this kick version of it, so go download it. Like, let's see this. It's not necessarily gonna be so warm sounding, but it's gonna add that stardust again, that some harmonizing content and some of that analog. It's not even analog sounding so much compared to those others I demoed already. But it has that somewhat of a tape characteristic to it. Glues everything together. And I wanted you to also have these. I'm not gonna go over and look into these. I'm just gonna show them. You have this. This is CoralBaxter. This is analog EQ again then. This is analog EQ type plugin. They're gonna add some content, harmonizing content with their individual settings. Same goes with this, having this vintage EQ. I also listed to this third list some of these. This is like categorizing similarly as we had here analog EQs, but we also have on the same list analog compressors, you know. Some of these legendary like LA76 simulator, emulator, LA2A emulator, and all of this good stuff. This is also very warm sounding. Just remember to put the pre on, so we have the analog circuitry also on. And Valve comp. Again, tube. This is already mastered, as you can see, so we don't necessarily want to use so much compression anymore. This list is just very heavy type of aggressive saturations. Not necessarily good for mastering purposes. This Abbey Road has some like preset, is it this mix bus light saturation? I think I've used that here. So that might work, but this is not something I really like even. It was quite expensive plugin even. I think it in a creative way it rounds things up again. It's a little complicated. It has a lot of knobs to turn and start tweaking, you know, mix, blend. Is it both of them? Blending it in. And still we have input and output gains, you know. It is warm sounding, what you can do. It's not bad, but like rarely I've used it. Sometimes I've found something nice with it. Camel Crusher, Saddle Master setting here. You see, this is working also. You can only download this plugin and achieve similar results, you know. It can be, like, you can use saturation here and there. Decapitator for the last, but not least. These are very punishing, kind of, oftentimes. You can so much overuse this very easily. There is this very heavy saturations you can overuse. Okay, that was my demo. The last thing I want to do is chain all of this together.
Boom, 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 and then
To here. Let's put all of them on first here. 3, 2, 1.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
At least I can say that I've survived the nuke. Ah, son of a bitch. Son of a mother.
So, in conclusion, what would be then the right time of using these plugins and saturation in general? I would say that it's not the wrong move. Every time you have this, let's say you have 4 guitars and you have this guitar group bus, use on that bus to glue these guitars together. Use it in mastering as a creative tool. Adding some saturation, character, crispiness, making it sound more professional. We are already used to hearing, like when we look into old pop music, this SSL-E console on every, at least bus channels. I think it's very respectful towards those old producers, old school producers and awarded Grammy winners and people like that, because they always trusted this sound of this circuitry. You know, we're used to hearing that. And this is why I even like to stretch this topic, saying that AI cannot ever achieve this. Like, AI will not understand this SSL-E and it piling on top of... It can be even as a channel strip on every single track, you know, and it's adding that analog content to those tracks. And this harmonizing content will kind of like pile up. And I think this is gonna give it, this is at least something I as a professional see. Those mixes where I used a lot of SSL-E console, that plugin. I have solid state logic version, but also waves version. I think solid state logic is more warmer sounding. Maybe it's not perfect, but it's very close to the original. I would argue, but I don't know. It at least it gives me a feeling. It might be just a feeling thing that I'm in the right direction with the mix. And again, coming back to saturations, that is adding analog content, that SSL-E. Similarly, as I demonstrated here, this was very over-exaggerated example. I tried to quickly put them to the taste. Again, you can tweak still the mix level, lower it to make it sound right. And oftentimes the rule of thumb is to keep in mind less is more. The right amount is always, when you start feeling it, then pull back a little bit. This is the right amount. That's always the perfect amount. Keep that in mind. And you can still tweak the mix level a little bit down. You almost don't even hear it. That's the right amount. When you master this more richer sound now, more harmonizing content. If you did the EQ very nicely, these resonant frequencies are controlled. Maybe you have to recontrol them. Maybe this saturation sometimes introduces them back. Gonna again over exaggerate them. So you need to EQ in layers. Always keep that in mind. But don't kill the sound. Have the emotion there and trust your ears. That's always the same. I know this is sounding very generic. Everybody are saying trust your ears, trust your ears. It's nice to have these presentations. Nice to see what's happening actually. But these guys are the ones. Break the software is better approach than just trying to make everything very clean. You know, because you kill it by making it too clean. Dirt is a good thing, and this is like the bottom line. The whole video was about dirt. We introduced dirt, explosiveness, roundness to it, and warmth, crispiness, whatever, you name it. Thank you for watching. Hopefully it was super duper helpful. I'm very passionate about this, so I hope it delivers. Thank you. Peace out.